Welcome back home.
I know, just us in our living room.
I know, this is
just chilling.
This is our home right here, and we moved in together, guys. Thank you very much, Alicia Keys. Thank you for coming by.
So good to be here.
New album here. You're so happy.
I am.
Yes,
I'm ecstatic.
I could feel the energy. Like you were happy last time, but you were looking forward to this day right here. It's here.
I know. No, I can't even. It's kind of crazy because I feel like in so many ways this is. Part of me feels like this is my first record. And then the other part of me feels like it's the explanation of what made me write the first record.
Really?
So anyways, nonetheless, we're circling in that like beginning energy. Which
excitement.
Is all where I'm at, like the new beginning. So it's good.
What is this new beginning? I want to know more about it. What is it about this album that you feel like, all right, it's bringing out, this new beginning feeling in me?
First of all, it is it's like the album I always dreamed about making, I think. And I didn't know how to make this record before because I just didn't have the experience, or I didn't have the knowledge or the access or into myself or whatever. And so I love the way that it sounds. I love how it sounds. It sounds really urgent. It sounds really raw. It sounds really kind of like, it's a bit unexpected. I think there's parts of it that are for sure unexpected in it, and I love that. But it's also really honest, and so it's really just truthful, and I think that people feel that so much.
Yeah.
So that, and I think I just have come to a place. I know that I've come to a place where I'm able to really talk about who I am here.
Yeah.
What we're going through. What's happening? How are we feeling about it? You know? How are we feeling about it? And just being able to like say it in a way that's super emotional and understandable. It's not like all like, what? It's like right here. So,
yep, here is here. I'm so happy for you.
Thank you.
You know, just being that you've been in the game and you've done this, but to see the excitement that you have is so refreshing because you truly love what you do.
Yes.
What song would you say on the album is like, I know you love them all, but the one that you're just like, okay, I can listen to this on repeat over and over, and I feel everyone needs to listen to it on repeat?
Well, first of all, the other thing about the album is that it really is a whole body. It's like a whole body of work. So you're going to be able to listen from the beginning all the way to the end, and you're going to like get it, So I think that's actually pretty cool too, because, I think there's a lot of records where you kind of like, you love the one song and then you really like that other song, and then, the rest were cool, but you didn't really, but this is like, it's like a whole experience. And so, so that's another thing that I'm really excited about. So you're going to be able to press play and just not stop in regards to what's my favorite song.
Yeah.
Therefore, you can hear the whole thing. But if I was to pick one, and again, one of my favorite that I think is going to kind of blow your head off.
Yes.
is one called Illusion of Bliss.
Okay, I'm looking at I see it. It's track 8, according to this track list.
Illusion of Bliss.
What does this mean? Tell me, because it sounds so sus right now. I don't know. Is it like...
Well, it's kind of like, and I went around asking everybody, what's your illusion of bliss? Like, what's the thing you think is making you happy?
Right.
And is it or what?
Right.
And so it's really interesting. And I think just going even deeper into what that kind of talks about is, I think we're all really, we're all definitely holding a lot. We're all feeling a lot. So it's like a heavy time in the world. There's a lot of things, very questionable things going on. And I think that gets to us. Yep. That gets to us. So we're trying to figure out, like, man, I feel uncomfortable when I watch this thing, or I'm watching this debate maybe, or whatever it might be, and you're getting all this. There's all these emotions that we're trying to figure out how to handle. And so when have we ever been taught how to handle our emotions, really?
Right.
Not
Never really.
So
Yeah.
the only way we can figure out how to handle them is to like kind of find our illusion of bliss.
Yep.
And what is that? Each one's is different. Each person's is different. And so, but it all kind of feels the same. And I think that's the thing that's really powerful about that song. So when you hear it, it just takes you somewhere.
Really?
Way.
This is great. This is very vulnerable. Very vulnerable. Even when I was actually surprised when you were talking about the song Blended Family. I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah.
But I think it's just because we've seen everything out there, but just to see where you are now is such a great place, and wanting your family to be as one. And, it must have, I can't even imagine. Like literally when I saw you talking about celebrating life and, doing this, and for you and Mashonda to work and dedicate each other and your guys' effort to one another, that is very incredible.
It's so dope, and it's so honest, and it's so beautiful.
Yes.
And I think that what blended family really represents, it really represents what the modern day family is.
Yes.
And the modern day family comes in all different ways, all different styles, from all different places. It can be two mothers that have their children together. It can be two people from two different religious backgrounds that might, who knows what they have to go through in order to be, allowed or to choose to love each other. It might be a Asian mother and a Black father and their kids. It might be, two dads and one mom. It can be whatever. It can be like my family, which is where my husband has children from other relationships, and all of us are a family unit.
That's beautiful.
You know what I mean? And we all get to love each other, and we all get to work together. We all get to help each other. We all get to uplift each other, and we get to be a family unit. So it's really, really, and I don't think we get to see that.
Not at all. Never. We only see the negative. Right? And that's why to see this and to hear it and just to be like, wow, this is a journey. And to see where you guys have been, I just hope it influences others that might be in a similar situation, that really love does conquer all.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And were you hesitant at all to do this song? Were you like,
No, because I felt like, first of all, it's the truth.
Yep.
It's honest. It's real. It's people's life. When ASAP first heard this song, he was like, this is my life.
Yeah.
Like, this is my life. He said, why didn't anybody write this song before? And I was like, I don't know. That's a good question, right? I've never heard this I've never heard a song about a blended family before. And he was like, I'm mad at you. You beat me to you beat me to it. So again, I think that's one really ill thing about this album, is that the topics are really not topics that you get to hear a lot. And so I think it takes you places that are relevant to your life because you experience it, but for whatever reason, we don't exactly get to talk about it a lot. And that's a really, really powerful thing. And I think that exactly we can create the world that we want, where everything doesn't have to be sensationalized. Everything doesn't have to be the negative version of everything for it to be important to us.
Yeah.
Like we can see the way that we can see the positive side of the thing too. Like,
and it's fine.
That's so, like, yay!
Let's celebrate happiness.
Yay!
We finally made it. You know what I mean? Like, we're at this point and we're happy.
And it's a blessing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
To have that support with your blended family, I mean, must be amazing. That you don't have to hold back any of your art. You could talk about whatever and have that support. Again, it's just such a milestone in your life, and I'm sure it's very liberating. You know what I mean? Yes.
In our family's life, and absolutely,
it's beautiful, man.
Absolutely.
And I'm really happy for you. I'm happy for your family because, again, we don't see the positives as much. So it's nice to see this. It's very refreshing. And you also, I was reading up a little bit, the gospel.
The gospel, the film?
Yes.
And so the gospel, which is, I just love it so much because it's what I'm calling the visual prelude to the album. So when you watch the gospel, it really puts you in the mind state of where this whole album came from, because it's really covering my New York. It's the New York I grew up in.
Right.
I'm pretty sure it's the New York you grew up in.
Yes.
And it's the New York that you can recognize.
Yes.
And that story and what it feels like, what it looks like, and what the culture feels like, and what we're going through and what we're trying to sort through and figure out, from, you know, youngins to guys to young women, you know. So it's powerful and it's ill, and it was directed by a young filmmaker named A.V. Rockwell. She's actually currently an NYU student.
Oh my gosh, that's
and
awesome.
She is fresh. She's so fresh, and her vision is so clear. She grew up in Queens, so she understands the world. And I feel like when you watch gospel and then you listen to here, like gospel brings you into the world,
right,
and then here takes you all the way. So you'll hear that love letter to New York that is a part of my album, and the sonics and the stories and the like depth and the conversation that really raised me and made me the artist that I am, the musician that I am, the woman that I am.
Oh man. Speaking of New York, you did your show. You had an amazing like last minute surprise concert, Times Square, and everybody that matters to New York was there. So what is this? Is this a phone call to Jay and Nas and everybody? Like, how does this happen for this to all come together?
No, it's definitely, first of all, I was in the middle of Times Square performing in my hometown, in my backyard that raised me, the streets that I walked down and raised me. It was a mind.
Yes.
In the most beautiful way. I was like, what is happening? Where am I? And then on top of that, all those noisy buildings with all those advertisements that drive you crazy when you walk down the street were all images of the album and the visuals that accompany it and the videos and I was like a scientist had to come in to figure out how to link the screens together, because it's never been done before. And it was crazy. I instantly became a 3-year-old.
Of course.
I was jumping up and down, screaming, yelling, grabbing my face. I was super excited. So in regards to the guests that came, which was just such a blessing.
Yeah.
And it was like that. It was me just reaching out, because I was explaining to them just how important this record is to me and just what this record means and how it's really talking about where we are in life. And I've been so inspired by these artists.
Right.
You know what I mean? These artists created my sound.
Mm-hmm.
They showed me how to be incredible incredible lyricist, you know, to paint pictures with words. You know, they're poets. So it was like I was just explaining to them what they mean to me and what they mean to this album, what they mean to this city, and what this moment means, and have an opportunity to speak about like what are we going through, and be like honest about that with them. Was what I think music is about. Like, that's what music is here for.
Absolutely.
So I did. I was like, so
can you come through? And you know what was amazing about this? I remember actually seeing Inca, and this wasn't like an announcement. This wasn't like some big PR thing to have everyone come out. This was barely announced, and you showed up, and then like everyone came. Do you know what I mean? And that's, I think, the most beautiful part about it is wasn't staged. It wasn't this whole, hey, all year we've been planning for this. It was just, hey, like, okay. And they probably did that so that millions of people wouldn't come out for the safety of Times Square. Because I'm sure they were like, hey, relax.
Issue.
Yeah.
Definitely would have been a security issue. But that's what made it so fun. Exactly. And it was really cool that it could be, I mean, it was like the day before that it was announced where it was. And it was just beautiful to see, like, New Yorkers, people visiting New York, people walking down the street like, well, what's going on over here? Yeah. And that's what's so good about New York, right?
Yeah.
You can walk down the street and see some kind of wild thing that you never expected to see.
Yeah.
So that must have been me that day. And I was looking out on everything, just saying prayers and in gratitude of just being able to share this moment with my fellow New York City family.
Gosh, that's such an amazing feeling. I can't even begin to imagine. Hometown, you're on that stage with, idols, and like you said, people who've been part of your soundtrack.
Yeah, it was crazy. When the J moment came, I was pretty sure that we might all pass out. because I'm like, look, we've sang that song
Yeah.
in some pretty epic places. We did like the whole Yankee Stadium
Yes.
moment. We did a few pretty killer, the VMAs that time we first debuted it. That was a killer moment, unforgettable. But we had never performed it in the middle of Times Square, where we shot the video right there. So, nobody knew what to expect. They didn't know who was coming, who wasn't coming. So they lost it. They had a little conniption.
Yeah, of course. When I saw pictures, I was like, "Oh my gosh!"
Me too. I was like, seriously, I see myself back on that, and I'm like, I was 3 years old. Look, that's my 3-year-old face.
Yeah, there I am.
There's my 3-year-old face.
But that's just such a moment.
Yeah, it was really special.
Do you feel like you could top this moment? Like, I mean, look, keep making music, of course, great albums, but like this moment right here for you is pretty, it's pretty out there.
I have to say, it's a blessing that you can feel me in that way.
Yeah.
Because I was just saying to my friend that this is the first time that I have 1,000% like clearly executed my artistic vision. Like,
wow.
Clearly.
No holdbacks.
No holdback. No like, well, you know what we should do? We should just add the one song that will probably be no compromises, no second guessing, just truly honoring because this is the music that came out. This is reflective of me, reflective of what we're feeling, we.
Yep.
And this is how it feels. This is how it should be. And I'm like really proud of myself for that. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I feel like maybe some of my favorite albums of all time, I feel like maybe that's what happened to them during those albums. They actually said, I'm doing this like this, period.
God, so liberating. I feel so liberated for you right now. I'm like, all right, you know what, guys? I'm just going to run outside. I'm going to do a marathon. I can't run, but I'm going to do it anyways. Because it's just energy that you have right now. It's just, it's beautiful.
Thank you. I'm super grateful. I'm just really grateful. I'm grateful to feel this way. I'm grateful to have this experience. And I'm just even more grateful for the love, you know what I mean? And the way that it's affecting the people that are, the way it's being received.
Yeah.
I'm super grateful for that. Like, people feel the real.
Yep.
Period. You just,
always
when it's real, you feel it. Mm-hmm. So it's good. And it's a good place for me because, it's easy to get lost. It's easy to get, get confused. It's easy to cover up and kind of like try to play whatever game, that the world wants us to play. But to actually just be for real and just be like,
and this is what it is.
This is it.
And you're not worried about anyone's criticism. This is your art. This is all you. So it's fine. Isn't that awesome?
I already won. I already won.
Yes.
Because I did that.
Yep.
And I'm so that's been a journey for me. That's been a big part of this journey for me. So
this is so cool. Liberating.
I feel like we're just all sisters and everything.
I know. I'm so happy for you just to see this. A lot of times people don't have peace within themselves, and you can feel the peace with you. And, it's something that not only musicians, but people day to day want to feel this, hey, I'm at one and I'm okay and nothing's going to stop me. And it's nice to hear that from an artist because you have so many people that look up to you and they've been on this journey with you and they've seen it all. And they're just like, wow.
Yeah.
She didn't let anything get the best of her. Which is easy for us in this industry, especially when you're always watched, like every move. So the fact that you're just like, hey, and here's my music and I'm happy with myself.
Right.
And
let's have some fun.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's have fun.
With your experience on The Voice, was it hard for you at all when you had to give feedback? Because you want everyone to win, right?
Definitely,
your energy is very like, I want to see you do well. Was it hard at all?
It's actually, I think it's been a really good practice for me, because part of also, this album, this time in my life is really just being, really understanding how to speak the truth gracefully.
Yeah.
Because it's cool. You can say what you mean. Nobody said you have to not say what you mean. You just got to say it with some grace. Like, don't just wild out on people, right? So the hardest part for me, I'm going to tell you the two parts. One, the hardest part for me was learning how to pitch. Okay, so it's brand new for me, never did this before. And so what happens is you press your button, you turn around. If multiple people press their button, you have to convince the artist why they should be with you. This is not natural. This is not a natural thing.
Right.
And I'm a New Yorker. I'm a woman. I don't pitch to nobody. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like, what?
So I was like, I don't pitch. You pitch to me.
Yeah. Yo, so absolutely.
So I was like all awkward and super weird about it, and I was trying to figure out, because that's not my style. Like, I'm not like a big like rah rah rah. I kind of keep it cool, and I'm just like humble, and I'm good. And so I tried, and I said a few things, and I think I did pretty good. And obviously there's been good things going on.
Yeah.
But at the very beginning, my creative partner and business partner and manager, her name is Erica. I've known her since I was 4 years old.
Wow.
She called me up right before I went. She was like, I'm gonna need you to swag on him a little bit. And I'm like, well, what do you mean? She's like, I'm gonna need you to talk about your #1 records. I'm gonna need you to bust out the 15 Grammys. I'm gonna need you
to really,
to show them who you are, okay? Don't hold back. I need you to swag on them a little bit. So I was like, okay.
Uncomfortable. I'm so uncomfortable. Yeah.
But I did. I loosened up, kind of got into my flow.
Yeah.
And just most importantly, I think what you were asking is, me telling them the truth.
Yeah.
So me telling the truth and what I felt would resonate with them and what they're looking for. And I find that works. That really works with that. But there was one moment I prayed it didn't air it. I did ask the guy to please never, ever sing that song again. Please. And
well, you did it for humankind.
I don't know
yeah.
if they made you sing that.
Yeah.
But let's just make a note. It's okay. Let's just take a note. We all make a mistake. There's moments in our life we don't choose the right. It's cool. It's all good. I've sang songs at shows where I'm like, why did I do that? I should have sang another thing. I didn't like maximize. Let's just take a note.
Yeah.
We're going to leave that one in the...
Yeah.
We're going to leave that alone pile.
Yeah. Leave it alone. It's fine.
They were cracking up at me. They were like, wow, why you tell that guy that?
Yeah.
So anyway, the honesty and obviously trying our best to say it with grace.
Oh, the New Yorker comes out of you.
I don't know how graceful I was in that moment, but it's a lesson for me too. So it's cool. It's funny. I love the show. It's very, very, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I love that people really get to see a whole other side of me. That,
absolutely. Yeah.
That is exactly who I am. But we just don't get a chance to spend a lot of time like that.
Yeah.
Interviews are quick, or you're on the radio, or you're on some, in a magazine that,
concert, you're working.
So you don't get a chance to kind of have that more casual banter. And it's really fun. It's my kind of thing.
Yes. You're going to go on tour and...
This music must be played live, and it must be played loud, and it must be played in your headphones, and it must be played in your car, and it must be played anywhere you can play it, but it definitely has to be played live. Like, what happens live is a whole other experience. It's like a ritual. It's like it's a gospel.
It's hypnotizing.
It's like powerful. Yes. It's really, really like emotional and really strong, and we're all like, we're in there testifying, and like it's happening.
Yeah.
So when you see it live, I think it becomes even crazier.
When,
so yes.
Soon.
Answer is yes.
You're gonna announce tour dates and all that?
Be out there.
Are you gonna take the family with you? Because being a full-time mommy is a real the hardest job ever.
It is, period.
Are you gonna do the whole, hey, let's go on the road, guys, pack it up?
So this is my first time figuring out how to juggle it, really. Yeah. I don't have the experience before. I definitely had my oldest,
Right.
who went with me when he was young, and that was cool because he was like 2 or 3, and
Yeah.
it's no big deal. And now I have my youngest,
Yes.
who's almost 2. He's not 2 yet, and so he'll definitely be with me for sure. But now my older one. And my older ones, like, they have to be in school, and so I don't know exactly how that's gonna work. And I think I have to like woman up a little bit because there's gonna be longer periods of time than I really want them to be.
Yeah.
When we'll be away from each other a bit, but for his like stability and comfort, and not feeling like he's yanked over here and yanked over there.
Absolutely.
So anyway, I'm figuring it out. We'll see how it goes. I'll figure it out.
I love that. I love that you're honest. You don't have it figured out. And so many people, like, they look at celebrities, they look at their favorite artists and think that you have it all mapped out. Like, it's perfect. And it's like, no, I'm learning. I don't know if I'm going to get a sitter. I don't know if hubby's going to have to do daddy duty. Like, it's just refreshing to see that, and no makeup, and you're beautiful, and you're just,
Thank you.
It's tough to be vulnerable for a lot of artists.
It is.
And so it's nice to see this. And the album is here.
It's here.
This moment, no holdbacks. This is
it.
Your vision.
This is it. It's strong. I'm so excited for everybody to like get inside of it and it to become their soundtrack.
Yeah.
And yeah, man, it's just it's just the beginning in so many ways because we're all learning.
Yeah. No holdbacks. Did no input from hubby, or did you not care?
Actually, he was a part of the what we call ourselves as the Illuminaries. So there's 4 people who were the main people that helped create the record. Myself, Mark Batson, who's a writer producer, Harold Lilly, who's another writer, kind of Southern dude, and then Swiss.
Yeah.
So it was like Brooklyn, Harlem, Bronx, Virginia.
Yeah. So great.
And it was all mixed up and all of this sonic. So this was the first time we actually worked on a long-term project together, which was so ill just to have all these different versions of like thoughts and styles all mixed up, and you hear it. That's why I think the sonic is so it's something you it's familiar, but you can't really define it. You never really heard it before because of that mixture.
This is so exciting.
Yeah.
Alicia Keys, I am so happy for you. It's always great to see you. This is home for you.
I feel
Anytime you are here and you feel like stopping by,
just come on by the crib.
Hey, listen, I will be there. Don't invite me. I'm the type. You got food?
Yes.
I'm
I like
there.
to eat. I do.
I love seeing you. I'm so happy that you're in a great place.
Thank you, Mama.
I'm excited to see where this journey takes you.
Me too.
Thank you so much.
Me too. Blessings.
Yes.